So, this one, making uncomfortable phone calls. It's not, I get the feeling of like, oh, I don't know what to say, I don't want to like say the wrong thing, or I don't really know how to handle it. I'm not very good at this type of stuff. But the thing is, sometimes it's the right thing to do, making that phone call, asking how that person is doing. You might not have been in their shoes, you maybe haven't been through like a similar or the same experience, and you care, but you just feel talking about it is uncomfortable because you don't know if you're handling it right. And this is, I don't know how I've titled this, and what I'm talking about could come across as very vague, but if I give you an example, I was just on the phone with somebody who is a friend of my mom's, and they're going through something difficult, and I know in the past that they were very kind to me, more than kind, and hospitable, and that they've been a very good friend to my mom, and we do have a sort of relationship as well. And I had to call them because it was the right thing to do, and it occurred to me yesterday that I should call, but I was like, no, I don't know if it's right, I don't know if I'd say the right thing. And I just reminded myself, and this is the key thing, and I'm probably going to title the video this, but it's not about you. When there is someone that is going through something very real and human and painful, and you know the right thing to do is to call them, and that if you were in their shoes, you would appreciate a call, or you just appreciate someone who understands, or that's just the sympathy even, or someone like saying, hey, I'm thinking of you, you know how much of a difference it can make. And yeah, things that are foreign to us, things that are a bit uncomfortable, where we don't know how the other person's gonna react, yes, it makes you uncomfortable, yes, it can make you awkward, but it's better to be brave and to make that call. You might trip up, you might say something in the way that you don't mean to, your feelings, you don't exactly know how to express what you're feeling, but it's still important to make it known that you care. And this ties into something else where everyone has different love languages as well, and one person's version of showing up is going to look different to somebody else's, but in the way that you can express that you care, you should, especially in times of need where someone is going through something difficult, and especially when they expect you to be there in some type of way. You may not be able to be there in the stereotypical way that maybe they need and expect, but if you can express that, hey, I feel your pain, and I'm there, and I'm just really sorry you're going through what you're going through, that can make the biggest difference to somebody's day. Because really, when you are going through, I've had a little bit of experience with this personally, and I'm not talking about my personal issues that I've already expressed over here, but when you're the person going through hell, it just sometimes takes that one person to just be like, hey, I'm so sorry, is there anything I can do to help? Or, hey, there's nothing I can do from here, but I just want to ask you how you're doing. Or, hey, I'm thinking of you. Or, and like actually meaning it, And I think it is that thing of like, I used to do this a little bit when I was younger, but I realized as I got older, like, this isn't, no. The thought might cross our minds, oh, I should I call them? But then that doubt comes in, oh, I don't know, like, I wouldn't know what to say, or they're probably fine, they probably have enough people, we're not even that close, that comes up. Shut up, make those voices shut up, and remember, just imagine what it must be like to be in their shoes. And the thing is, what good is it if the thought crossed your mind? At the end of the day, you didn't call. At the end of the day, you didn't show up. At the end of the day, you didn't make it known that you care and that you genuinely care. So this is just a little prompt, I guess you could say, for any of you out there that's just like, I don't know if I can do it. And this is a little bit where I was, but I encourage you to make the call, and you can even admit, like, I'm really sorry if I'm saying the wrong thing or if I'm overstepping in some way. Please feel free to tell me what you are and are not comfortable talking about, or if this is sensitive for you, tell me how I can support you best. And I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, like, if I give you a very like sort of personal example, when I was first sort of dealing with panic attacks and anxiety at the age of like 13, 14, My mom did not know what the hell was going on. She was of the generation who would just be like, snap out of it. They didn't even know what mental health was, right? And once she realized, like, oh, this is a thing, mental health is a thing, we should get her into counseling at school and all of that, the process was imperfect, I can tell you. Even then, she would still say things like snap out of it, or, you know, what's wrong with you, or in a very critical way. Like, she would still say certain things that were just not straight, like, not good. But I understood, like, she's learning something new here, like, she's learning a new concept. And just knowing that she cared, that she was willing to learn, that she was kind of like, hey, how can I support you? Like, what language is you know, constructive for you and healing for you? And, you know, yeah, support isn't always going to be perfect, especially if it's coming from a peer or, you know, a loved one. If they're not a professional, support is not going to look perfect, but it's still support regardless. And I think the person on the receiving end will know that, and they'll be grateful for that. So even if you're on the phone and you're like, you feel like you just don't know if you're saying the right things and whatever, just say, look, I'm really sorry. If you can even say, I'm sorry if I've overstepped or whatever. Like, you can say it and just own the fact that you're human and you're confused. Going on photo booth, but this is dope. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I love it.
I thought you'd like it because it's all like philosophical and like.
This is sick. Thank you so much. I just got a cool book for my sister. Really cool book. Okay. So what I was saying was, you know, just own the fact that you're a human. We're here to learn at the end of the day. You know, if we all knew how to show up for each other perfectly, none of us would have to be in therapy. But that's not the world we live in. So just own the fact that you're human. Everyone's needs are different as well. So you could have, I don't know, you could have 5 different friends that have all experienced grief in some shape or form, but each of them is going to, they could have all lost, touch wood, not, like, I mean, it happens to all of us at some point. Say they've all lost a parent. Each and every one of them is going to deal differently. The way that they need support could be very different. So why does it matter if it's your first time or your 5th time? Either way, it's, you know, you might have a bit of a ballpark idea of what to say, how to be there for someone, but each person's different too, and they're changing. Sorry if you can hear my sister coughing, poor thing, like, everyone's got the flu and whatnot nowadays. But, you know, everyone's needs are always evolving as well, on a time-to-time basis, and just be in the moment, express that you care. Life is too short, and honestly, life is really too short to not be vulnerable. Especially with the people that need your vulnerability the most. You know, people need, especially when they're in the shittiest of times, they need to feel every now and then, because it can, the shittiest of times, there's a reason I shouldn't be swearing, it doesn't even work for me. Even in the most rubbish of times, you know, in the most rubbish of times, people can feel the loneliest as well. And by calling them, by letting them know you care, by asking them how you can help, and like genuinely meaning all of this stuff. I'm not saying all of them in one go, or, you know, all of that, but just checking in, letting someone know that they are seen, and that, you know, that they're not alone. It can make such a difference. You know, just, it's a way of sort of holding their hand, having their back, and it really is that thing as well. There will be a ton of people, like, bees to honey, when you are, you know, at the top of your game, when you're your happiest. There'll be a ton of people willing to celebrate with you and dress up and post on social media. But you really, when you go through hard times, you really do see who's there. And it's not about being like, oh yeah, I'm trying to like be one of those people that's there, oh yeah, look at me. It's not even like that. It's not an ego thing, but it's like you going through it, you realize it is a thing. Like, you could have like hundreds of people around you when you're at the top of your game and you're living your best life and you're so happy and whatever. But when you're in your ugly days, and I don't just mean physically, I mean like emotionally ugly days, the people that can show compassion then, it is significantly less. So if you can even add to that person's happiness, add to that group of, you know, just be one of those people that's like, hey, I might not be there every day. We may not even talk more than once every, like, 6 to 12 months or whatever, but I'm thinking of you. Even that can make such a difference. Really. And again, this is why I say never underestimate the power that you truly have to make a difference in somebody else's life. Even if it's just one moment, one word, one sentence of kindness, like genuine kindness, you can make such a difference. It's not about you. It's not about how uncomfortable it makes you. It's about what you can do for that other person and what that other person needs and how much, you know, and just making them aware that you care. That's what it's about. And I hope I don't get copyrighted because my sister's been playing K-pop on repeat. But yeah, this is what this is, like, that's what this video is about, is take your ego out of it. Don't worry about being imperfect. Just make it known that you care and see how you can support that person best. Anyway, I hope that helps some of you. I hope that is a little bit of a kick up the backside for anyone that's like umming and ahhing about about whether or not to make that phone call or to have that conversation. Just do it. Get your ego out of the way about trying to. It's not about looking perfect, really. You know, it's not about like having it all figured out. How could you have it all figured out? Even if you've been through exactly what they're going through, your experience was probably different too, because you're a different person. It's just about being there, being like, hey, like, human to human, I'm really sorry, and like, can I help? That's it. And it might come out all like jumbly, but as long as you've said it and the sentiment is known, it can make such a difference to somebody. Anyway, that's it for now. And I will see you in the next video. Oh, and I also just want to say I'm really sorry about the photo booth quality. I'm working really hard to get my storage on my phone sorted out, but I can't help that I have ideas and that I want to share them. So here we are, and I will get it sorted as soon as possible. Thank you for bearing with me, and I'll see you very soon. And happy Christmas Eve! Okay, bye. Oh, when is Hanukkah? When is Hanukkah? Do people say happy Hanukkah? Oh, so it's okay. I see. I don't know much about this. Sorry. Hanukkah 2022 began the evening of Sunday 18th of December, ends in the evening of Monday 26th of December. Right. Oh, that's fun. You guys get more days. I'm not a Christian. I went to a Christian school growing up, so I know more about it. Wow. That's great. Well, happy Hanukkah. And just happy holidays to everyone. And oh, the lighting is better because I got Safari on. Isn't that great? Okay, I'll do that next time. Take care of yourselves. And again, like I said, life is too short to not tell the people you love that you love them and all of that, like the extensions of that. So remember that. And I will see you very soon. Take care.